ever since she entered a convent at the age of 23. These days, if she looks more like a gym teacher in church than a Catholic nun, it's because this is where you'll find her when she's not doing God's work. Competing in triathlons around the country, including one of the most grueling races on earth, the IronMan Championship in Hawaii. It's a nearly 2.5-mile swim in the open ocean, followed by 112 miles on a bike through old lava beds in often hellish temperatures and winds, capped off by running a marathon, more than 26 miles. Did I mention Sister Madonna is 77 years old? The oldest woman here. It's been interesting always doing what people didn't expect you to do.
Well, it even surprises me sometimes.
It does surprise you. Very few people have been as contrarian as you have.
Mary, quite contrary.
Exercise, she believes, is the one thing that can truly harmonize body, mind, and soul. It's become her ministry and a kind of tribute to God.
I'm saying, well, if you did this for us, this is the least I can do for you. And it's with your power that I'm able to do it in the first place. So if it's your will, keep me going.
She's competed in more than 20 Hawaiian Ironman races and 300 triathlons. Not only has she won her age group 14 times, they've actually had to create new age groups just for her.
Good luck, sister. Thank you. Run out there. All right.
All of which has helped make her a kind of patron saint at the dozen or so races she competes in every year.
You're such an inspiration.
Besides the spiritual gusto that you get from this, it's a congregation.
It really is. And we've all become family, like one big family. Because, especially in the Ironman, because everybody knows what each has had to endure to even get to the point of doing an Ironman distance. And because I've been in it for so long, everybody seems to know who Grandma Triathlete.
Grandma Triathlete has been living on her own in this small house in Spokane, Washington for the last 15 years.
Jesus be with you.
She's been a vital presence around town, whether at church or counseling prisoners at the local jail. It's a far cry from her privileged upbringing in St. Louis. Her life changed one day when she was just 14, and God called to her. And a few years later, against the wishes of her family, she answered. Was it difficult giving up the certain amount of comfort and wealth that you came from?
No, it was just another challenge. If life doesn't have some challenges, it's not worth living, right?
She's been seeking new challenges ever since. In fact, she didn't even start running or exercising until she was nearly 50 years old. She'd been on a retreat when a priest mentioned that running could actually be a spiritual exercise.
Father started expounding about the peak experience you get after you've run for so long. You get the runner's high. And I'm saying, yeah, but I thought you got that in prayer. I'm thinking, my God, this sounds like a panacea for everything.
What did it feel like when you made that decision to run?
Freedom, total freedom.
By the time she'd entered her first big race, the Boston Marathon in 1982, some in the church had begun to wonder about her new pastime, including a few of her old friends, the sisters she'd studied with back in St. Louis.
Running about was not exactly an apostolic work.
In a T-shirt and shorts.
In a T-shirt and shorts, and as a community, our initial reaction was, what's going on here? I mean, this is just not what nuns do. It seemed rather frivolous. But she regards it as a true ministry. And so you asked, do you think people have been won over to this? I doubt it. I doubt it, but I think we have.
She soon moved from simply running to doing triathlons, now dedicating each competition to a person in need, hoping to transfer her spirit during a race to them. In 2006 at the Hawaiian Ironman, it was her nephew who had died unexpectedly just a month before the race. In the final stages of the run, well into the night and with several miles to go, she wasn't even close to finishing under the cutoff time, 17 hours after the start.
Sister Madonna Booter.
That's when she said she made a deal with God. Let her finish, and she'd know that her nephew had died at peace.
After I made that bargain with God, there was kind of like a presence on my right side in the dark. And then it was a funny sensation, like I didn't feel my body anymore. I just felt that I was in motion.
In front of a stunned crowd, she managed somehow to cross the finish line with less than a minute to spare.
It was a finish that I'll never, ever, ever forget. That was definitely confirmation that my nephew was in the right place.
Just to be able to compete in the Hawaii race, you need to qualify at events throughout the year, like this half Ironman race in Northern California, where we found Sister Madonna camped out the morning of the event.
I hope you had a better night, Blue Angel, than we did. It was pretty chipper.
While she conquered the swim easily, biking was a different story. A near pile-up sent her over her handlebars and left her with a fractured arm.
Right in your elbow there?
Well, it kind of goes shoulder all the way down.
Okay.
Life is a mystery, but being a part of life and being a child of God, I'm just placing myself in His hands, and He can do with me what He wants, and He does play with me a lot.
Do you think sometimes I'm crazy to do this?
No. All I do is think it's wonderful, God, how you can heal me.
This is just the beginning, too.
I have had a broken jaw and a broken scapular, broken hip twice. It was at the femur and down the shank.
I think you've suffered more than most of the old Christian martyrs.
Well, they get it done in one fell swoop.
That's right, they were lucky.
Right.
You look great.
That's because my scrap metal isn't showing.
Okay, good. Go on and sit there.
Okay.
Although doctors thought she might be out of commission because of her fractured arm, divine intervention or not, she was right back at it just months later.
Aloha again.
Back to Hawaii at the 2007 Ironman. This year, she's doing the race for a close friend who lay dying in the hospital there.
God and my mother, praise your little son, Jesus. It'd be great if we could go to the finish together. Her to her final finish and me to my temporary one.
With that mutual destiny in mind, she's up at 4 a.m.
The day the Lord has made, let us rejoice and be glad in it.
193, right? Okay.
and on to the race.
How many times have you been here?
Oh, this is my 21st for Kona.
Minutes before the race, she's calming nerves, hers and all those around her. While she keeps up a swift pace once on the bike, passing others half her age, it's the wind that's always the wild card here. Not to mention stomach problems that she's had of late. No food or water will stay down. But this is what her life's always been about. Sacrifice, dedication, faith. So with 50 miles to go, she pushes on.
This is in a capsule, a very concentrated lifespan. You are going to have ups and downs, highs and lows, joys and sorrows. So go with it. Accept it. It's all in the making of a character.
After 8 hours in the blistering sun, 112 miles, Sister Madonna missed the cutoff time. She was just 30 seconds too late. It's a sign that her friends, the sisters from St. Louis, wish she would heed.
Do you all think she's crazy, though, at the age of 77 to be doing this nonsense?
I hope she finishes soon, or she decides to, stop, because I don't want her to see her hurt. I don't want her